Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there? Or stared at a familiar face and struggled to find the name? Yeah, that. You're not alone. And no, it doesn't mean you're slipping. It means your brain, like any other muscle, needs a bit of a workout. But here's the good news. You don't need to download an app, play weird matching games, or stare at your phone until your eyes water. You already have everything you need to keep your brain sharp, right where you are, with the life you're living. Today, we're going to walk through 7 brain exercises that actually work. No screens, no subscriptions, no fluff. Just real habits that make your brain more focused, more resilient, and more you. If you're over 70, these are golden. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you challenged your brain, not with stress or worry, but with something new, something fun, something that made you feel alive? That's what we're talking about. Let's jump in with the first one. And you're going to love how simple this is. Exercise number 1. Tell stories from your life out loud. This one sounds small, but don't skip it. Storytelling is one of the most powerful brain boosters we have. Why? Because it forces your memory to retrieve, organize, and communicate. It connects emotion, language, time, and detail all at once. Think about it. When you tell someone about the time you snuck into a movie theater in 1962, or how your dad taught you to drive with a cigarette in his mouth and one eye on the road, your brain lights up. You're pulling memories from deep storage, linking them, and translating them into words. That's high-level cognition. And the best part? You don't need an audience. You can tell your story to a friend, a grandchild, or even to yourself in the mirror. Just make it vivid. Add the colors, the smells, the music that was playing. Your brain thrives on those details. Even 5 minutes a day. One story. That's it. Exercise number 2. Use the opposite hand. Here's a fun one. Feels silly at first, but stay with me. Try brushing your teeth, eating, or writing your name with your non-dominant hand. Why? Because it activates parts of your brain that usually stay on standby. Your dominant hand is on autopilot. Your brain barely has to think about it. But when you switch, your brain goes, wait a minute, what's happening here? It starts rewiring, creating new pathways, building fresh neural connections. It's awkward, yes. You'll probably spill a little soup the first time. But that challenge is exactly what your brain craves. You're not just moving differently, you're thinking differently. Start small. Stir your coffee. Open a door. Switch the remote. Each time, you're waking up new corners of your mind. Exercise number 3. Learn one word a day in a foreign language before you roll your eyes and say, I'm too old for that. Hear me out. I'm not asking you to write poetry in Italian or argue politics in Mandarin. Just one word a day. That's it. Here's why it works. Learning a new language taps into memory, pronunciation, rhythm, and attention. It's like lifting weights for your brain, but light reps every day. You can pick a language that means something to you. Maybe your grandparents spoke Yiddish. Maybe you've always dreamed of visiting Paris. Maybe your neighbor speaks Spanish and you want to surprise them. Personal meaning makes the learning stick. So today, pick a word. Bonjour. Gracias. Ciao. Say it out loud. Write it down. Use it in a sentence. Tomorrow, add another. Watch what happens after a week. You'll not only expand your vocabulary, you'll expand your mindset. Exercise number 4. Walk somewhere new without a map. This one's sneaky. It sounds physical, and it is, but it's mental, too. Here's what I mean. When you walk a new path, your brain is forced to make decisions. Left or right? Which street feels familiar? Where does this lead? You're not on autopilot anymore, you're navigating. That's spatial memory in action, and it's one of the first things to fade if you don't use it. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to get lost in the woods. Just pick a nearby neighborhood or a different aisle at the grocery store. Let your eyes scan. Notice things. Try to remember them. Where was that mailbox with the blue ribbon? Where's the corner with the weird dog statue? That's brain training. And bonus, it's also exercise. Win-win. And now that we've touched on movement, memory, and language, let's keep going. Because the next ones, they're going to surprise you. You're already doing more than most people your age by just being curious. That counts. And if you've tried even one of these so far, telling a story, switching hands, picking up a new word, you're already rewiring your brain. Now let's dive into the next exercise. This one's especially powerful for focus, clarity, and emotional balance, which, believe it or not, all come from the same part of the brain that helps with memory. Exercise number 5. Sit in silence for 10 minutes a day and actually listen to your thoughts. No music, no TV, no multitasking. Just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Sounds easy, right? It's not. Most people can't go 30 seconds without reaching for their phone or flipping through channels. But you're not most people. This isn't about meditating like a monk on a mountaintop. It's about teaching your brain to slow down and observe. When you sit still and listen, really listen to your own thoughts, you begin to notice patterns. You start to separate what's useful from what's just noise. And your brain? It starts to relax, reset, reboot. You'll begin to notice your memory improving not because you're stuffing in more information, but because you're finally giving your mind space to breathe. Memory needs stillness. Processing needs quiet. Try it after your morning coffee. Sit by a window. Close your eyes. Don't chase your thoughts. Just let them pass like clouds. It's simple. It's free. And after a week, you'll feel something click. A calm sharpness. A quiet confidence. Exercise number 6. Teach someone something you know by heart if you want to really strengthen your memory. Here's the secret. Teach. Not preach, teach. Explain something you know so well it's practically in your bones. Maybe it's how to fix a leaky faucet. Maybe it's how to bake your grandmother's secret pie crust. Maybe it's how to shuffle a deck like a Vegas pro. Anything works. The key is this. When you teach, your brain has to organize your knowledge in a way that makes sense to someone else. You're not just recalling information, you're restructuring it, clarifying it. And your brain? It loves this challenge. Teaching is a full brain workout. Memory, logic, emotion, storytelling, it all fires up at once. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a lesson plan. You just need someone who'll listen. A grandkid, a neighbor, a friend over the phone, or talk to your dog. He won't interrupt you. What matters is that you explain, out loud, with detail, with purpose. Because when you give your knowledge to someone else, you end up understanding it better yourself. Exercise number 7. Change one daily routine. Every week this one is sneaky powerful. Most of us run on routines. Same breakfast, same chair, same TV show at 7. And there's nothing wrong with routine. It keeps life steady. But here's the catch. Your brain zones out when things get too predictable. It goes into sleep mode. So here's the challenge. Once a week, shake something up. Eat breakfast outside instead of at the table. Sit on the other side of the couch. Take a different route to the store. Shop with your non-dominant hand. Read a newspaper instead of scrolling. Walk in the evening instead of the morning. It doesn't matter what you change. What matters is that you notice it. When your brain encounters something unexpected, it wakes up. It looks around. It starts making connections again. That's where the magic happens. You don't need big changes, just tiny tweaks. But do it consistently. Make it a game. Surprise your own brain a little every day, and it'll thank you by staying sharper, longer. Now take a second and think about everything you've just heard. These aren't maybe someday habits. These are today habits. Habits that fit into your real life, that make you feel curious, present, and engaged. And here's the truth no one says out loud. Staying sharp after 70 isn't about outsmarting age. It's about outloving it. It's about choosing to care for your brain the same way you care for a garden. You water it. You pull weeds. You give it light and variety and rest. And it rewards you with life. You don't need a fancy app. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to show up for yourself a little every day. And if you've been thinking, I don't know if I can start new habits at my age, I'm going to stop you right there. You've already survived decades of change. You've raised families. You've worked hard. You've adapted to everything from landlines to smartphones. You're not just capable of change, you're built for it. Now we've hit all 7 exercises, and I hope at least one of them made your brain perk up a bit, maybe even smile. But before we wrap it all up, there's one last thing I want to leave you with. The last thing I want to leave you with isn't another trick or tip. It's a reminder. You're not trying to stay young. You're not trying to rewind the clock. You're doing something far more important than that. You're choosing to stay present. You're choosing to keep your mind open, your curiosity alive, your spirit active. And that choice? That's what keeps you sharp, not just in memory, but in meaning. That's what keeps your conversations interesting, your thoughts fresh, your world vibrant. Let's be honest, after 70, people around you start treating you differently. Like your best ideas are behind you. Like your role is just to sit quietly and take it easy. But that's nonsense. You've got decades of knowledge, experience, and perspective that the world needs. And if you keep your mind strong, you don't just remember things better. You live better. You respond better. You laugh more. You connect more deeply. That's the real reason you do these brain exercises. It's not so you can remember where you put your glasses, although, yes, that helps. It's so you never forget who you are. So you never forget how much life you still have to give, how much wisdom you still carry, how many moments are still left to enjoy, fully, clearly, and with your whole self awake. So what now? Start small. Pick one of these habits. Do it today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. You're ready now. You've made it this far into this video because you care about your mind. That means you're already ahead of the game. You don't need to do all 7 exercises every day. You don't need to be perfect. Just be consistent. Stay curious. Try new things. Teach. Listen. Sit quietly. Walk a different way. Learn one new word. It adds up. You'll notice it in little ways first. A name comes back quicker. A story flows easier. You feel more with it in conversations. And then, you start to feel like your mind has more energy. Like there's more oxygen inside your thoughts. And that's when you know it's working. Now, if anything in this video resonated with you, even just a little, leave a comment and share it. I'd love to hear which of these exercises you're going to try first. Or if you've got your own brain-boosting habit, drop it below. You might inspire someone else just by sharing it. Also, if you found this helpful, click the like button. It helps more than you know. And if you want more videos like this, filled with real talk, no gimmicks, and practical tools to help you live better after 60, subscribe to the channel. I've got more on the way, and you won't want to miss them. Because here's the deal, age doesn't dull your mind, neglect does. But the moment you start caring for it again, it wakes up. You've still got time. You've still got spark. And you've still got plenty of stories left to write. Stay sharp. Stay strong. Stay curious. And I'll see you in the next one.